So today we will discuss about the scripting in UIXN. So I think UIXN you already will be aware. We will
Yes.
see how we can make use of scripting in UIXN. So
Okay.
UIXN is one of the component in the system where you can write both scripting like server side and client side. Okay,
Okay.
depending upon your requirement, you may opt to write server side. If you want, you can write client side. If you want, you can write both.
Mm-hmm.
So
But server side is preferable, right?
yeah, it's nothing. It's a preferable something. It's depend upon the requirement. So you can use anyone according to your requirement.
Okay.
There's nothing as such preference. But if your it's all if your requirement is getting fulfilled through server side scripting, you can write server only.
Okay.
So today we will develop one of the UI action that will be kind of for our new demo table, and that will be a kind of what do we say, reopen the ticket.
Okay.
So like we can, let's say I have closed complete my request, but I just want to have a button here to reopen it.
At the top banner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So that is what we are going to implement. So for that,
Okay.
we need to go to UI actions.
Config.
So configure UI actions, or you can go through left navigation application filter.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just click new. Here are some out of box UI action already,
Mm-hmm.
which are already
Okay.
written as part of like ServiceNow tool. Then what name you want to be displayed when someone looks, then what will,
Reopen.
yeah. So that is something you need to give here, loading.
Okay.
So here we can say like reopen,
Mm-hmm.
and then here this is the name which is basically backend name of this action. So I will say
Okay.
underscore reopen.
Anything can be
Yeah,
given by
yeah,
us.
yeah. Then coming to this portion, this is quite important and interesting part. This basically says, might be you already gone through in the admin part. So this
Mm-hmm.
basically says where exactly you want to show your button. So if you want to show it on the form banner, then it will be a kind of form button. Then if you want to show on the context menu is something when you right click on and then you see some
Yes.
options. Then form link, the links which you see something like at the end on the form, blue color one, related
Uh-huh.
link. So those are form
Related
link,
list. Mm-hmm.
related links. Okay. So those are
Yeah,
some,
links.
yeah, these are the three places where you can put your UI action in different forms. Like if you want a button to be visible, then click this. If you want a context menu option, then use this. If you want form link, then use this. Then
This
here,
submit button at the top
hmm,
that we can see, right? This submit button. So out of this form button, from context, form link, which one is it?
this is
Form
a
button.
form button only.
Hmm.
So UI action can give you like links on the form, context menu, a link, then you got this button. So these are three options you can have for form. Then these are the few options of the UI action which you can have on the list. So if you similarly,
List
if you
view.
want list banner button, like we clicked new, if you remember, that is something you can have. Then list bottom button at the bottom, if you want button, then list context menu, like right click on the list and header, and then you get some options like group by and all those if you want that. Then you got list choice. If I show you, say this,
Mm-hmm.
I go here. Do you see this one?
Yeah.
This is something which I was talking. So if I come back again, so this is something list choice.
List choice. Okay.
Then list link. Similarly, on the form, you get you can create the links on the list view of your list. Here you can get some links. So
Okay.
this is something depending upon your client requirement, your requirement, where exactly they want to see this particular UI action. So according to that, you can put it on the different places. That's what ServiceNow has you provided you a flexibility kind of thing. Okay, so
Okay.
so for the timing, I will just use the form button. If you want like all three places like form, context menu, form, link, you can click on these all three. If you want
Okay. So
somewhere from,
everywhere it will show.
yeah. So it depends like wherever you want to show, or in your like case,
Mhm.
it might be a requirement you want these two, or maybe sometimes you might these only. It depends, right? The submit button is something you just click here only because it's just button you want on the form. You don't want
Mhm.
user right click and then submit. But save you will
Right.
see here as well. So that is how it works, something like that.
This save is context, right?
Yeah, yeah, form context menu.
Yeah. Right.
Then you got this list style, like how you want your button to be visible on like form. So like you want primary, if you select primary, and similarly you want it on list. So like list and form, how you want it to look like on the form. So here I will say none. Here I will select primary. So if you select primary,
Mhm.
then it will be a kind of, you will see it in blue color. So if I go here, if I open, okay. So like according to the instance branding, it like it matches with this, I think this line. So
Okay.
it's basically it's with the branding. If you will not select anything, it will be a kind of like this gray one.
No color.
Yeah. If I go back,
Mhm.
if you will select like destructive, then it will be showing you, I think, in red. See,
Okay. Okay.
this is how you can make use of this form layout and list form style and list style. Sorry, like whatever
Okay.
how you want it to look like. Then coming
Mhm.
to an important part, as I said, you can run both client side and server side, both side of script in this UI action. If you remember, this is the one place which we are saying like you can run both. Otherwise, all the previous things, either client or server. That is what we were going through, right?
Yes.
So this is the place where you can write both kind of script in just one place. So by
Okay.
default, here you can only write server side script. Server side
Okay.
means like current objects, then GS
Glide
glide
record.
system class, glide record class, all those which we studies as part of server, we can write by default. Okay, so let's
Mm.
say what the reopen thing will do. It will what it will do. It will just
It will change the state of
say to work in progress. So here
right.
also you got the current. So for which record you want to change the state? You want to change the state for current record, right? Current
Correct.
dot state is
Mhm.
equal to, I think 3 is the option. Let me just put here. And then similarly, you want current dot update. And then here you also get one thing, redirection. So actually after update or where you want your form to be redirected.
Mhm.
action dot redirect, if I remember things correctly. Then you can, if you want to redirect to a particular link or wherever. So I am currently saying like, okay, redirect back to current, means the record which I am say trying to update, just redirect back to the same record, not go anywhere.
Okay. Okay.
Now if I update this and if I come back to this task, this is in closed complete. Let me
Close
close
complete.
it.
Okay. Checking that in progress state, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Value.
three only. 3 is one closed complete. So in progress is 2.
2.
What I will do, I will just update this. So I will go to this one. I will
So
update.
there is no condition or something, right? It will happen every time they
Yeah,
will click.
so as soon as someone clicks, as it should happen. So like if your logic, if your particular scenario need condition, you can write all those things as well.
Okay.
So if I open this one, if I click illegal redirect is redirect. Okay, there is some issue in redirect function. It's set to work in progress, but there seems to be some issue in redirect one. So that is what we do through these UI actions. So let's go back again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fix this one. You can also use ServiceNow as for like learning the script. So like you will find a lot of functions which are using the redirect. If you are forgetting something, just use that. So you can, I am going to search so like these many UI action I am seeing already using the redirect function. In mine there is some issue. So what I will
Okay.
do, I will open this and see what exactly the issue is. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of script ServiceNow has also written, right? So you can learn through that one as well.
Right.
Where is action dot set redirect URL? Okay. Sometimes some things you forgot, so that is what how you
Yeah.
can like you can search like you sometimes may need not to even go to the ServiceNow docs. You just search it
Mm-hmm.
through already written out of box script. Now if we will go back, I will first mark this. One thing did you observe? When it is
What?
in pending, when it is in work in progress, like every time it is available, right? Is it correct?
Mm-hmm.
Just
No, it should always be once it's close complete. So that is a condition, I think, right?
yeah. So that's why you need to put the correct condition as well. You need to even it should be not, it should not be visible to anyone, right? So those all things you need to put. So let me go.
Okay.
I say 3, 4, and 7. So maybe you want it when it is closed complete, then only you want the UI action should be available. What you can do,
Yes.
you can make use of this condition.
Condition.
So here you can say like current dot state equal to 3.
3.
When it's in closed complete state, then only this UI action should be available on the form. So if I go back now,
Can we
see
write like if loop in the script in script editor? If
condition, like in the condition you were saying,
instead of in the condition, we can just enter that if state equal to 3
but
in the script editor.
that will stop the code. This is for visibility. If I will write here, it will not
Ah,
allow code to do anything, but still the button will be visible.
but generally we have used that if loop, right, for any condition thing in other
This
places.
is the visibility condition. This is not that condition. So this is something. Okay, let me show you what I will do.
Mm-hmm.
I will cut here. What I am saying, if my record is in this state, and then what this logic exactly is saying, when current records state is in 3, like it's 3 when it is in closed complete state, then someone clicks, then run this code, and this code is going to put it back into the work in progress. Okay, when this will be in closed complete state, then only it will go to the work in progress. So let's go back to our
Mm-hmm.
code. Did you see what we were trying to do through condition? But see, now if I will, okay, let me put it in pending. Now if I click on reopen, what will happen? Ticket is still pending. Means it didn't went move, like it didn't went to like this work in progress. But
Yes.
unnecessary button is available on the form.
Yes.
So this is something what we written right now. We are stopping the code to run.
Okay.
However, when we write it here in the condition, that is something when this UI action should be visible on the form. So UI action condition is something which controls the visibility of the UI action on the form.
Okay.
Okay, so now what will happen if I go back to
Mm-hmm.
my task? See,
It's not showing.
it's not showing. Now if I will move it back to closed complete,
Save. Mm.
now it's available. Now if I click on reopen, it will reopen. See,
Mm. Mm.
and it moved. Okay, so this is how you make use of condition. Again, this button should be available for requested for. Like requested for person should be allowed to reopen because he knows whether my request is fulfilled or not, right? Confused?
Mm.
Hello? Requested for person should be able to see this reopen only. That is, should be one another condition, right?
Okay.
Like why, as per the business requirement, only the user who requested should be allowed to reopen, no one else.
Okay. Okay.
So what you
So you
can do,
have
you
put
can
that
put
double.
state
Mm.
state is equal to 3 and like
Requested
current dot
underscore.
requested for should be equal to logged
Current.
in user.
Uh-huh.
So the user who is logged in should be the requested for of the ticket. Then only the button should be available. So how we get the
Mm-hmm.
requested logged in user? Gs
GS.
dot get
Get
user.
user ID.
Yes. So now
But why can't we use equal to current?
current
Equal to current.
current is for giving you the field of that form. Current is an object. Current is not user.
Current dot state up. Okay. Okay.
What is the current dot requested for? It will give you a value that will be
Of that
sysID of
field.
user, and that you can compare with sysID of user with another sysID. So here we are
Okay.
saying the ticket you are opening there is a field called requested for. In that field, the sysID, which sysID is available, should match with your sysID who logged in. Then only this button will come. That is what this condition is saying. So similar to this,
Okay.
like you can put multiple condition as per your requirement. So if I will now go, as I am system admin, that's why now if I see, as I am logged in user as system admin and requested for is also system admin. That's why I can see this reopen button. Now, what I will do, I will change this requested for. So, see, even the state is closed complete, but I cannot see the button because I am
Yes.
not the logged in user. Okay.
Yes.
Then now one more requirement can be there. Now, still you are seeing what is there. It's just client server side code, right? How client side code will come into the picture? What happens? Sometime we got like when user clicks on this button, there should be a confirmation message coming.
Yes.
Like you are about to close the request, then a user click OK, then it should close complete. Something like that, right?
Mm.
So even reopen or close these kind of button if user want, then confirmation message. That means we want to display it to the customer or to the end client who is clicking on this button, right? So that means that is the client side.
Yeah.
So in those cases, you now need to write the client side code as well for the confirmation. Also, sometime what happens, client asks, okay, I want this work notes should be mandatory or comments should be mandatory on the form before user closes. So how can we make mandatory? Through client side only, right? Either client script or UI policy.
UI policy.
So here UI policy may not be able to write. We can write the client script. Through client script we can make mandatory. So in those cases, the client side code will come into the picture. So I will put comments here. Okay, so if I go back to my UI action. So as I said, by default, it runs server side code only. Now, as I need to write the client side code as well, here you see this client checkbox.
Yes.
So this is something you will have to make true.
Okay.
Then here you will have to define a function. It could be any meaningful name. Run, I will say like client. This is basically a server side function which you have defined. Now here you will have to write your client side code. So here you will say if confirm maybe any message are you sure to reopen this ticket. So now, when you need to just one more thing, let me just write this code. Then might be confused now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how you write both sides of code. First thing, to write a client-side code in your UI action, you need to mark this as true. As soon as you will mark this true, here you will see this field on click. There, in this field, you need to define a function. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside that function, in the script area, you need to write your all the client-side code. So this confirm, this is the client-side function. Okay.
Right.
So here I have to write full client side code inside this function definition only. The function which I am defining here, and I am putting the code inside that function only. So all the client side code will go inside this. Now at end of your client side code, like where your client side code is about to finish, maybe here you may write 2 3 more lines. This particular line should come fix GSFT submit null genusco form dot get element, and this last parameter is going to change every time in every UI action, and that will be the name of your UI action.
Okay.
So what happens actually now, if you see, there are two actions happening. First, you are taking the confirmation from the client, and second, you are doing save operation in database. Are you observing? So let me just go to the form now.
Okay.
If I click on reopen, See, one thing, as you clicked, immediately what happened? A pop-up came up, right?
Pop-up, yes.
You can see this pop-up, right?
Yes.
So one thing is this. Now when you click OK, then what is going to happen? Another code going to run, which is going to set this form back to work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Where is two things. First thing, when you clicked, a pop-up came on the browser. Second thing, when you click OK, then the form is going back into the work in progress state, or record is going. So here two actions happens always. So basically that means code need to run clicked twice. Why? Because if you go to the code, in code, let's understand simply. 1 and 2. In your code, what you are asking code like UI action to run, do two things. One related to client, another one related to server.
Okay.
Okay. If you remember previous codes, you might find bit difficult this one. So if you see, we were either writing this or writing this. That is what we were doing, either client or server.
Okay.
But here we are writing this one as well, and the server as well. Basically, we are doing both the things. That means we are giving two tasks to the UI action. That means, and every code, if you remember, runs on an event. An event should happen, then only a code runs, being it client script, being a business tool, or any. So on a event, a code can run. Now here there are two things. That means two events should happen. Now, when user clicks on the button on the form, that is the first event. And when you click, at that time, the client side code runs.
Okay.
Now client side code runs, your click is gone. Now to run the server side code, there should be another click. That click from backend, this GSFT submit used to do. That is what this function does. As soon as your client side code runs, that basically runs when you click physically on the button. And once your client side code run like finish, then to switch it to this code, server side code, we need to write this line at the end. So if you see this, we are providing kind of from the backend name of this UI action. So this line on the high level, if you understand, basically says, okay, click one more time on the UI action. And that is not a physical click done by you or me. It is kind of system through backend do it to run this server side code.
Okay.
So that's why this line will be always when you write the client side code in UI action.
Okay.
Then this is again fixed, and this is a function of the server side, and inside that function you write the server side code. Basically, two functions comes into the picture when you write two codes, like server and client both. So inside one function, your client side code will come, and that function will be defined here. And inside another function, your server side code will run, and that will be defined here. And this line is something which switches kind of code running from client to server.
Okay.
Okay. Might be bit difficult. These many things fixed, like this one line is fixed every time at end of your server client side code, this line should come with the every time this name of this UI action going to be replaced with whatever name of your that device.
Even if I don't need to write client side, then also I can write this GSF submit line.
No. If you remember, that's why if you remember previously what we were doing, our work was happening, ticket was going from complete to in progress, right? If you remember previously,
Yes.
this was what the code was, right?
This is server side.
Yeah, and even this is not there. So this is doing the job perfectly. This is when someone clicks, it is moving the ticket back to work in progress, right?
Hmm.
But we added the requirement, like as soon as user clicks on button, there should be a pop-up come up, and once user confirm on that, then only the ticket should reopen. That means pop-up is
For that
clients,
pop-up thing, we have added this client part.
yeah, client part. And once the client part added, then you need to mark this as true, then define a client side function. And here inside the client side function, all your code will come. Like here, we just put confirm. And then at the end of your client side code, this GSFT submit should come. And then this particular part should come from here. You will kind of call your server side function and then define your server side function. So complexity comes into the picture when you write kind of client-side code as well in UIX.
Okay.
Okay. So now if I go back to my form and I
Without scripting, can't we create UI action simple?
no, in UI action
Without.
we only have scripting.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see anything showing here like set value or something like that? No.
Yeah, I mean, glide always need to be done, right?
Yes.
Database operations.
Yeah,
Hmm.
database operations always. Like here we are using current as the object. Sometimes you may use like a glide. So if you go back here, now here we are doing both the things, client and server. So if I click here, if I click OK, and if user cancel, see nothing is happening because GSFT submit only runs when user click on confirm. And until the GSFT submit will run, this is not going to be, the server side is not going to run. And if server side code is not going to run, that means it is not going back to work in progress. If a user will click OK, then means then only JSFT submit is going to switch the code from client to server. And inside the server side code, we are writing like move the ticket to work in progress.
Okay.
Now, here, if you have observed on the incident form, there is a copy incident button, create problem. Those all are UI actions only.
Create new.
Uh, Not create new. This create problem, list contact menu. Let me go. Incident. If I open one of the incident, so these open is all these are UI action only.
This follow is also UI action.
I think this is not the. This is some other feature. So it's not.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this one. So here you see this create outage, create problem, create request, create child incident. What exactly they are doing? They are just creating a record in another table, right? And linking it
Yes.
to this record. So if I click on create problem, so it is just creating a problem, right? That's what it does. So basically, if you now go back to this UI action and if we open this configure UI actions, here also you will find this scripting only create problem. This is already written. So here, if you see, they have called script include. Basically, inside that script include, they will be just glide recording this uh, problem table, and they are inserting a new record. That is what they will do.
Where is it script include here?
This is the script include. That's what
Dot get problem is what is it?
function of that script include. If you remember,
Okay.
we define the name, and then inside there is will be a function. So if you look here, script include. So if I open this, incident util, see you find this, and inside this function there would be other also, I think. Okay, from this they are calling this incident util. Sometimes out of box code you will find a lot of inheriting things.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they have made UI like script include for all their UI action. If you see, copy means even other functions as well. Copy incident attachment, copy incident related list, and they are calling these functions from different places. Like one of them,
Okay.
they are I think calling from that UI action.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, UI action is kind of your pure scripting. Without scripting, you cannot write anything. Like in business rule, we can set value, we can display message, we can abort the record submission through just check boxes and putting some text. And if you require
Mm-hmm.
advanced thing, then you go to the scripting part. But in UI action, it's not like that.
Okay.